Good morning, currency kings and queens. I wanted to go over the NAS trade that we took when we had the consolidation that I listed, and I was just kind of studying it because you have to back test. That's pretty important in your trading journey, just as well as the journaling part. So it shot up out of that range that we were talking about on Friday. It tapped back into it, but just watch how it continues to move because it starts to go deep into this trend after it retraces and it breaks below the 50 moving average. And I wanted to get your bias on it being on the 15-minute time frame and it breaking below. I did get my buys on Friday that we talked about. It was amazing. I had a really great trading week. Yes, last week we were green in a pretty good green status, so I'm excited. This week should be phenomenal. Just look how it popped above. That's where my take profit hit in that area, and I got out. Just pay attention to what it's doing now. Because Friday it was kind of wonky. It was ranging, and then it'll shoot up in one direction, it'll range, and then it'll shoot down in another direction. That huge sell candle right there. And I'm thinking that it's forming support in this area to continue up, but watch it closely. So it does. It continues up. It retraces down. It grabs those, it closes those fair value gaps. And then we still have gaps below that, and it's getting pretty darn close, just like this area, of tapping into the moving average. We got a little bit of ranging. If you drop down to the lower time frame, there's more consolidation that you'll see. So it closed that candle with a rejection wick here, so I'm like, okay, and a rejection wick there, but it's still closing below the 50, so I wouldn't take any buys if it's below that moving average. It's closing a pretty good amount below that. And what I'm looking for this week, opening tomorrow or whatever, we'll look at news here in a minute on NAS. I'm looking for a retest. Let's see. See if we got that far on Friday. Because it was moving, but it wasn't Friday. It was kind of trying to fake us out like. Okay, so it goes back up to that moving average. It's testing it. Close below it again, or right on top of it. So it's kind of indecisive right now. Anytime that a moving average is breaking through a trend, it is consolidating. Do not trade it. So it's closing, ranging. And then it stops. The day is closed. So this is where we left off on Friday. This area here, we want to see if that area is going to continue consolidating and staying below the moving average. Let's look on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour candle is still bullish. If this is closed, it's still bullish to me because it didn't close below the previous bar. And the wick of rejection is just atrocious. So a lot of times the market will start doing these things, and like I said, it likes to go and correct and clean up and meet other market demands, and sometimes it just kind of floats around and does whatever it wants to do. Even on the daily time frame, we don't have a huge candle there, but I mean it's there. And look at the bullish candle that's closed before the current 1 hour candle. So I'm still kind of bullish with the way that the market is moving, even though we have some red peeking out. I would stay on my P's and Q's. If you look at the 30-minute, which I really love to look and compare everything to, because 30-minute time frame is pretty solid. The higher the time frame, the more solid your trend bias or whatever you have going on is. So, with that being said, I am still looking for buys. I'm looking for the trend to break above here. And it's some more buys for me tomorrow. On the lower time frame, I would pay attention to what it's doing on the lower time frame, but I would not use that to, other than scalping, I wouldn't use it to just say, hey, my trend has changed. I would continue to pay attention to the higher time frame and look at what it's doing and how it's moving. Enough with NAS, because we can go on all day. So if y'all are still on buys with NAS, I think that is a good bias for now until we find out what it's going to do when the market opens. What kind of news do we have? Let's see, y'all. Let's see what kind of news do we have. So tomorrow, which is the it's the 30th, y'all. We moving out of this month. So tomorrow's the 30th. We have nothing significant, all yellow folder. So no market movers tomorrow. That's on the calendar. So we'll see if we get some volume tomorrow, or if this thing will probably just kind of cruise and do its thing. But you should still, because the structure is still there. Even though we have some ranging in certain parts of NAS, the structure is still there, still green. I'm still on an uptrend for longs as far as my bias. So with NAS, that's what I'm taking. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is what the trades that I'm taking for myself. Just know that there's a lot of risk involved if you take trades based on somebody else's opinion. But I'm just saying. But let's look at gold. Moving right along.